G'day guys, welcome to episode 111. Is it one? Yes, 111 of Ask Jack D. Today I take a really good question, and it might sound like a shallow question, but it becomes actually a very good, if not the best conversation we've ever had on Ask Jack D about my wrists and what I wear on my wrists. I talk about why entrepreneurship, in my view, is a spiritual endeavor. I talk about the importance of abundance. I talk about why money shouldn't be the driver. It is important, and it isn't a bad thing, and it is a good thing, and you should try and make a lot of it. And I talk about the importance of staying grounded, connected to the earth, connected to yourself, and compassionate at all times. Stay tuned for this, guys. It's a powerful episode.
28 and I'm trying to shape history, pulling from the sky for some strength to take with me. Line up the stars, fly away quickly and push the world forward like a tidal wave hit me. I ride the wave swiftly, I fear no man.
G'day guys, welcome to episode 111 of Ask Jack D, and thank you for tuning in. I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret before we get into today's episode, which is right now I'm filming this episode at my place in Mossman. However, I am on my way as we speak to Hawaii. We're doing a little bit of pre-record because I'm going away, and I'm not actually sure how long I'm going to be away for. However, we want to keep these going on a daily basis for as long and as much as we can. We probably take a week off between Christmas and New Year's, although I'll do little sort of candid things just on an iPhone. However, we want to keep this going even though I'm on the other side of the world. So you'll probably see that I'm not here, even though I am. It's a bit like Inception. Let the question roll.
What symbolizes the leather bracelets that you always have on your wrist?
Thank you very much, Megan. Now, Megan is a diploma student of ours, so she's probably watched tens or if not hundreds of hours of video of me with my different bracelets, which is why she's asking the question. It's actually a really good question, Megan, and the reason is because it is all very purposeful. Both hands actually. So you've got the watch on one wrist and then you've got the bracelets and sort of wrist wraps on the other. Now both represent different things that are of the same sort of philosophy, I suppose, but represent different sides of a philosophy. Firstly, the watch. So the watch on the left wrist represents abundance, and this is actually a really important conversation to have. Often I get asked a question, Jack, how do you reconcile spirituality with business? And I find that to be a really interesting question because in my view, entrepreneurship is a spiritual endeavor. I believe life is a spiritual endeavor, right? Because life is about creation. It's about creating who you are. It's about creating your tomorrows. It's about creating your future. It's about, in a very real sense, creating the world around you. It's about creating relationship. And I think that often as human beings, we don't give ourselves credit or enough we don't fully appreciate how powerful our ability to create is. Entrepreneurship is also a spiritual endeavor because at its essence, it is also purely at its very seed of what it actually is it's also about creation, because entrepreneurship is something where we start with nothing more than an inspired feeling in our heart or a compelling thought, an idea in our mind. And from that, we start to hold it and we start to think about it and we start to talk about it, we start to share it, and then it starts to grow and it sort of starts to sort of build out, if you like. And then after a year or two or three or four or five, what once started as an inspired, compelling feeling or an inspired feeling in your heart is now something that's very real. People are working on it. People are buying it. People are interacting with it. People are talking about it. It's, interspersed throughout people's lives. You've got 10 or 20 or 50 or 100 or 1,000 staff working on it every single day. And it came from nothing, right? So in my view, spirituality is just about creation. And there is no better real life demonstration of creation and spirituality, in my view, than entrepreneurship, which is the only reason that entrepreneurship excites me, right? On that basis alone. It's about, your life's work is a statement of who you are. And our ability to, entrepreneurship just gives us a path through which we can exercise our ability to create. So business and spirituality aren't two opposing forces. They are actually very intrinsically one and the same. The second reason that this is an interesting conversation to have is I always talk about how money should not be the driver of what it is we're doing here. Why? Because the driver should be everything I just spoke about. It should be about becoming more of yourself. It should be about challenging who you are. It should be about putting something out into the world that touches people's lives in a meaningful way and adds value to them. And it should be about creating an ecosystem and an environment where your people and your team can do their life's best work each and every day, so that not only are you enhancing and improving the lives of your customer and your audience, but you're also providing an infrastructure by which the people you care about most, your staff, are pushed and challenged, and you enable them to become versions of themselves that they hadn't previously envisaged, and you enable them to do what they would have once believed was impossible, and you change their entire thinking about who they are, and you change what life is about for them because you change their view of what's possible, right? That's what entrepreneurship is for me. It's a vehicle for change. It's a vehicle for influence, and it's a vehicle to push things forward, right? It's just about progress. So that's what I often talk about. Money shouldn't be the driver. Those that set out to make money often make less money than those who are driven by something that's far more important or perhaps far more enlightened. Having said that, what people then often interpret that to mean is that Jack doesn't think money is important. But that's not what I said. I said it shouldn't be the driver, right? You should, in my view, spirituality is also about abundance. And I don't mean abundance purely in a financial sense. I mean abundance in terms of happiness and richness of experience and an abundance of meaning and an abundance of love and an abundance of connection with the people around you, right? So abundance is a really important philosophy to adapt and to own and to embody in your life, right? And so money is just money is just energy. It's just another element of that. And in business, it's another element and output of creation. So while money shouldn't be the driver, it is absolutely okay to make a lot of money if you want to, right? You should be abundant in every sense of the word. And in the first few years, you won't be, right? That's the game. That's business. And that's life. You've got to do your apprenticeship. However, you want to get to a point where you celebrate abundance and you own that rather than shying away from that, right? So while money isn't the driver, it's a great thing because it enables you to do more, it enables you to contribute more. Money is a magnifier. If you were an asshole before and you make money, you'll be more of an asshole. If you were setting out to contribute before and you make money, you'll contribute more. If you were a great person before and you make money, you'll now be an even greater person because your ability to add and just influence things magnifies with money. So it's not a bad thing. Money's a great thing. It just shouldn't be the primary driver, right? This hand. So while this is abundance, this represents groundedness and earthiness and compassion. And so I think between abundance and earthiness and compassion, it is, and these are both very purposeful. Like if I go and do like if I'm on TV or on stage or anywhere where I feel I need to be my best self in that very moment, I'll wear both of these to remind me of, it's a representation of who I am. It reminds me of my philosophies, it reminds me of my principles, and it's a very tangible reminder for me everywhere I go that you need to have both, and both are good. Business is a spiritual practice. We are trying to enable people to live an abundant life, yet it is also incredibly important to remain grounded, connected to the earth, connected to the world of spirit, and compassionate, right? And to my point earlier around holidays, this is why I go on holidays. Once a year, I didn't do it this year because it's such a big year, but once a year, usually around June, July, I go away for a month, right? And I do a little bit, but I try not to. And like I'll try and go to Rome or Paris, or I go to places where there is rich history where I can learn. And that helps me to reconnect, right? So this risk, I suppose, is about reconnection to self. And me being away right now is that demonstration in action, because it's about reconnecting to who you are, staying aligned to that, staying aligned to your purpose, staying aligned to your path, and living a life every single day that is a representation of that.
I've just actualized a wish that I dreamed as a kid.